Counter-Strike. A game I haven't touched in quite a while. Well, it's made some interesting decisions that why they've been out for quite a bit. I've never explained my thoughts on them, even though in the past I've stated that Counter-Strike is one of my favorite games. So I think it'd be a fair subject to talk about, seeing as I've given such a high opinion of the game. So, hey, what's going on, geeks? Maxusthebeast is here. Welcome to my thoughts on Counter-Strike 2019. And I must say, jumping back into this recently has been both a blessing and a curse. A blessing because I have missed this game. It's fun, it's challenging, but it's ultimately rewarding if you do well. And a curse because my overly competitive nature kicks in, and if I don't do well, I tend to tilt pretty quickly. I'm trying to get a hold of that, but it's not as easy as some people make it look. Although I'm trying to adapt a more calm mindset so I don't, take losing to heart or whatever. I still am kind of worried about jumping into competitive games again because I'm trying to practice so I can, because of course not playing regularly means that your skill degrades. Because it's not always like riding a bicycle. You can't always have muscle memory of everything. But I'm trying to get back into it so I can start doing competitive again, because I miss competitive. I used to have so much fun playing competitive CSGO. I've made a lot of friends over it, and I've strengthened current friendships through competitive CSGO, contrary to the toxicity that people want you to focus on. And I will admit it is incredibly easy to be toxic in CSGO. Oh well. But towards Christmas time, when everybody and their mother was trying to cash in on Battle Royale and people are still trying to do that, CSGO decided they wanted to do their own little take on a Battle Royale game. So they added in a game mode into CSGO and made CSGO free to play, to what I think is an attempt to compete with Fortnite. Because, Fortnite's the big titan of gaming, and it's free. So, Valve, I think, wanted to get their current biggest shooter, being CSGO, make it free, and then put it in a Battle Royale mode. Which I have played a couple games. I haven't won any, but I have played at least like 5 or 6 games of the Battle Royale, and I must say it's fun, and it kind of reminds me of PUBG in a way, just with a smaller map and you're permanently locked in first person and there's no vehicles. But it's definitely an interesting Battle Royale, and I might play it for the channel in the future. But they made CSGO free to play. And with any free-to-play game, that attracts a whole multitude of interesting individuals, where you'll encounter, if you play casual or deathmatch, which, while I'm trying to warm up, deathmatch has become my habitat, because it's a nice place to jump in and for 10 minutes or however long you decide to play, just shoot at people and have access to any gun for free. It's good for practice, especially when I'm trying to get back into competitive. I want to be able to utilize the weapons I'm given in the game. And as such, I typically you don't hear that much when you're playing deathmatch of, voice chat. But in casual, you will have the occasional strange person pop into voice chat. And it being free to play means it's accessible to pretty much anybody. And that means kids. I've talked about kids in competitive games a long time ago, and back in my I'm addicted to Overwatch phase. And my philosophy on kids in these kind of games still stands firm. I still think that, not all kids are necessarily by default bad at the game. They're not all squeakers. They're not all obnoxious. Albeit there are a handful, or actually, no, a vast majority of them that do turn out to be obnoxious. But there are some who aren't. And in any case, before you know what kind of person they are, we shouldn't judge them because of that. Because there are a good amount of people who are young, who play CSGO and other shooter games, who are actually, decent people, and actually decent players. So, like I said, my philosophy still stands firm. But at the same time, when you're playing competitive and you encounter a kid, that's really where it kind of goes both ways. But in casual, it's where you encounter the actual squeakers. And it's really obnoxious. Where you'll just jump in for a game of casual with friends or just by yourself or whatever and just queue with the team, and all of a sudden this kid's yelling about who knows what, not making any sense, and just putting a bad taste in everyone's mouth. Typically just making everybody cringe by making either stupid jokes. And people still, for some reason, do the whole your mom jokes. Whether that be like, your mom is so fat, or those that don't belong in a kid's mind. Alright? We're just saying that because I'm still trying to keep this somewhat PG-ish. I mean, I'm talking about a game about shooting terrorists. So, family friendly, right? But it is obnoxious when you do encounter kids who are like that. And it definitely shows that there definitely are cases where kids should not be playing this game. And I think that while age itself may not be the issue, it just really goes down to what kind of person you turn out to be. It goes into your maturity inwardly rather than maturity of, well, age. Ah, me. But it's, like I said, it goes down to the personality, it goes down to the way the kid thinks, all this kind of stuff. But it is disappointing when you log into a casual match and you're swarmed by kids. But that's the price you pay when you make your game free to play. And it is an interesting move on Valve. Like I said, I do wholeheartedly believe that this decision was, influenced by the popularity of Fortnite and Valve trying to cash in on the free-to-play Battle Royale market by also making everything else CSGO related free-to-play as well. And then, just like they did with TF2 a long time ago, they had this like $15 like bonus pack thing, like a premium pack, which would have a bunch of extra stuff to it. I don't think they still sell that for TF2 anymore. In real, like, premium status for TF2 is granted when you buy your first cosmetic item. So you don't have to... Used to there was a TF2 pack, but you don't have to buy that anymore. Now it's just buy any cosmetic and you have the premium player or whatever. But with CSGO, it's... while the game itself is free to play, the pack is the former price tag of the game. So Valve will still be making money off of people purchasing that because that's, like I said, the same price tag that was given to CSGO. Because used to CSGO was like, what, $20, and then it went down to $15 towards the end of its, monetary life cycle, or lifespan, because now it's free to play. And most purchases nowadays are going to be out of skins or keys and whatnot. purely cosmetic stuff, or for upcoming events or whatever. And that's really where that goes down to. And as mentioned before, I do in fact like CSGO's Battle Royale mode. And I think it would have been interesting to see Valve actually make a game like CSGO. There's plenty of Counter-Strike games by now. There's Counter-Strike Classic, or 1.6 as it's referred to. There's Counter-Strike Condition Zero with the deleted scenes, which are lost missions cut from the base game. Then there's Counter-Strike Source, which was the upgrade from the old engine to the Source engine. And then there's CSGO. It would have been interesting to see alongside of CSGO a free-to-play CSGO Battle Royale game, where the Battle Royale could have been, with all of its whatever, maybe cosmetics, maybe, armor, or not really armor, but like, I guess skins. Not just for weapons, but, character skins, like customizing your terrorist or counter-terrorist. I think the models for the players in the Battle Royale are mostly just random terrorist models. But the Battle Royale is definitely a cool feature, even though it is clearly to try to cash in on the popularity of the genre. But it's well done, and it's really given Valve a place to run rampant and test out crazy ideas that would never fit in regular CSGO, like bounce pads and parachutes, which aren't like Fortnite's jump pads. They bounce shit in the air, and you can also attach them to other things, and they bounce off of things. It's like the jump. There's the jump pads, and then there's like bounce pads. I think it is the bounce pad that it is based off of. But they're also testing out things that would really break the game, because while the bounce pad and parachute thing is illogical to have in competitive or casual CSGO, and would work in a Battle Royale experience, they're also testing out different weapons and other features that would definitely break the competitive experience, like riot shields, which makes you invulnerable as long as you're holding out your shield. Although there's like a small sliver that somebody can peek through if their aim is really freaking good and shoot you through the gap, which is at head level. So if you get through that gap, your opponent's pretty much either close to death or dead. But it's a unique Battle Royale. It doesn't feel like a reskinned PUBG like a lot of others do. It doesn't feel like... I've said in the past that Ring of Salem's a good game, but it, in a way, feels incredibly similar to PUBG, which it clearly has taken inspirations from. But CSGO's Battle Royale feels more like Counter-Strike than a reskinned PUBG, which is good. Because it would suck to have another reskinned PUBG game. And I don't see anything wrong with trying to use PUBG's formula for your own Battle Royale game, but it seems like a lot of them are just entire, basically reskins, just PUBG painted over with a coat of some original concept. But enough about the Battle Royale. Like I said, it does... Most of the complaints of this go back to what I was talking about earlier with the accessibility to it. It's good that now CSGO will be granting... or will be granting access to a variety of new people. Meaning that while CSGO has never been short on players, making it free to play will make sure that a lot more people will see it and be interested in it, and people previously who saw it and were interested in it when it was for sale but didn't want to shell out $15 or just didn't have the money or had their own reasons, will now be able to try it without having to spend a cent if they don't want to, because the game itself is free. Which is smart if you want to increase player numbers, which will also increase the chance that they might want to buy all the cool cosmetic items that they might be seeing in YouTube videos or things announced on the game's news page about patches and new stuff added to the game. More players means more people interested in cosmetics. So in a way, that is a smart business practice. And you're also growing player numbers and increasing the amount of fans you have for the game. And it also means that the esports side can grow, because more people playing it might mean that more people get really good and more people start forming teams or stuff like that, and it'll keep the competitive scene alive. So it's good for Valve and for the average consumer, right? Other than having to put up with the occasional troll or kid or whatever else. I mean, CSGO has always been a very diverse place. Even when it did cost a lot of money, you'd still encounter your crazy kid. You'd still encounter scammers, whether it's trade scam or people trying to scam you out of your credit card. Or just a fair share of interesting people, which is what makes the game really special. And now with the game being open to pretty much everybody, you know, I'm excited to see how this is going to go. I'm excited to see the next generation of CSGO players who will form their own set of incredible memories with this game. Because I have a lot of really good memories with CSGO. And I hope to gain more. I'm going to start getting back into competitive, and I would like to actually put a date on when I'm going to start the competitive series again. I'd like to start playing CSGO competitively again by the end of the month. At least for videos. So that means I'm going to start practicing almost daily, if not daily, to try to get myself back in the mojo of playing Counter-Strike and playing shooter games. And then I'll get back into CSGO competitive and see how that goes. I haven't played in a long time, so of course I've deranked down to nothing, so it's going to be interesting to see what I rank up to when I reach that mark of, well, being promoted. But if I were to put, let's say, like a number rating on 2019 version CSGO, I'd give it a 9 out of 10, actually. It's doing really well, and the community hasn't blown itself up yet. So the game is still fun. Not much has changed. There's a lot of meta changes, but I'm not here to talk about meta changes because I don't entirely understand the meta anymore. So instead of talking about meta changes and whatever, I'm going to leave it at a 9 out of 10. It's fun, still rewarding, and still a game that I recommend you guys check out if you haven't already. Anyway, guys, that's just one man's thoughts on a game. If you guys play CSGO and have any different thoughts about Valve's decision to make it free to play, lay it on me. I'll be interested to know y'all's opinions. Because, of course, with a subject this broad and this diverse, people are going to have many arguments for or against it. It's definitely something that makes a lot of people think, especially those who have stuck around with the game for a long time. So please let me know what you guys are thinking. Anyway, thanks again for watching. And as always, Maxusthebeast is out.